And when we talk about business case, again, a business case could be done in multiple ways, in different stages of the life cycle of a project. So it could be done as part of the early stages. That's what we are doing now with the feasibility analysis that's done. So after this, you can create your own business case, saying that, yeah, now we've got a rough idea. This is how much it could cost. This is the kind of people we need. These are technologies, and these are the markets we're going to go after. This is the kind of profile of people that we're going to sell this to, the customer profiles and the user profiles, so on and so forth. So this is the first stage. Perhaps you can actually have your business case, perhaps the first cut, first version of your business case. And the second version could actually be when you actually start off your requirement analysis. So which is what we're going to do the next few weeks. We'll talk about how you start gathering your requirements from the, not gathering, I'll say elicitation. So it's not just asking about, tell me your requirements. Basically, we do a lot of different tools and techniques. We use workshops, interviews, prototyping, and we use a lot of chat sessions and so on and so forth to understand the requirements. And from there, we get a bit more clarity in terms of what this product is going to do. Then we'll get into the business case, which is basically the confirmed version. So it's not just going to be draft version at that stage, it's going to be confirmed one. So it is to assess whether we're in the right track or not, whether our product, the product that we wanted to actually sell, is it going to really make sense to the users, to the customers, and to the stakeholders or not. And then during the solution design, when you actually start the design of the solution, when we come up with a rough architecture, when we say that this is going to be the front end, we're going to use an Angular, we're going to use Bootstrap on the front end, we're going to use a responsive design for the mobile and also the browser. We're going to have SQL database. We're going to use this kind of thing. We're going to use APIs. All of these, this is going to be the design space. So once we get into this space, by this time, we should have enough idea about the costs involved, the kind of people involved, because now we are at a stage where we know what kind of people do we need. We need Java resources, or is it Microsoft? If it is a Microsoft solution, then we need to have the C# people. We need to have this, Azure. We need to have these tools, Visual Studio.net. Whereas if it's a different solution, it's a different thing. That's why, remember, I was talking about solution space and problem space. Here, we are still in the solutions, in the problem space initially, the feasibility study. We know what is to be done. We know why it is to be done, the motivation for it, the rationale for it. And we know what are the tools we might need, but we don't really know what are the nitty-gritties involved, what are the kind of technologies, what tools we need. And therefore, at this stage, it is pretty hazy. But as we go into the solution space, remember that diagram I was talking about last time, solution space versus problem space. The problem space is the what and the why, whereas the solution space is the how, the implementation. The solution space actually has the technology. It's technology specific, platform specific, tool specific, whereas the problem space is completely agnostic of the technologies, the platforms, and the tools. It doesn't really matter because you're still operating in an abstract space, but whereas the solution space is specific, right? So here the business case, you actually get a better picture of the costs, the people, the involved, the time it takes, and all these other things. So when you start developing that and when you start implementation of that, you actually can look at the business case again to see whether we're in the right track or not, whether we've got the funds, do we need more funds? So we go back to the board, we go back to the market to get more funds to say that this is our progress. And again, in the agile context, we deliver some sprints, and then after some sprint, we have a release to the market, and then we'll actually come back and assess whether we are doing in the right direction. Our product is shaping up in the expectations that the customers and users have. So that's a review that you can take. So again, business case, very, very important. I can actually vouch for it because I worked on a lot of business cases myself, being a business analyst. You can get that advantage. And then of course, once you deploy the solution, it gets into operation. That's where you actually see the benefits coming through from the project. So this is we're talking about, let's say, initial idea, and from there on, you can get to see that the idea translated into prototype, into the requirements, the design. It got into the shape of a product, an application, a mobile app. It got deployed in Play Store and also the Google Play. And then people started using it, and then you actually start getting into the next level of how we can scale it in terms of the product. So you see the money coming in, you see the people using it, you see where you're going, then you can take decisions in terms of how you can shape it.